India's Foreign Secretary was in Dhaka today. It was a high-stakes diplomatic mission, one with multiple objectives. He had to attempt a reset with Bangladesh, he had to draw some red lines, and he had to cool down the temperatures. And all of this in less than 24 hours. So did he do it? Well, for starters, there are no controversial headlines yet. The talks were frank and cordial. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri had multiple meetings in Dhaka. He met Interim Chief Mohammad Yunus. He also met the Foreign Minister and the Foreign Secretary. And the agenda? India highlighted three main talking points. First, India's commitment to the people of Bangladesh. Second, a call to deepen cooperation. And third, concerns about the state of minorities, especially the attacks on religious and cultural centers. Listen in.
I emphasized that India desires a positive, constructive and mutually beneficial relationship with Bangladesh. We have always seen in the past and we continue to see in the future this relationship as a people-centric and people-oriented relationship. At the same time, we also had the opportunity to discuss certain recent developments and issues, and I conveyed our concerns, including those related to the safety and welfare of minorities.
New Delhi kept highlighting the role of people on both sides. In fact, let me quote from the Indian statement. Foreign Secretary emphasized that people are the main stakeholders in India-Bangladesh relations and noted that India's development cooperation and multifaceted engagements are all geared towards the benefit of the people of Bangladesh. So the message is quite clear. India's commitment is to the people of Bangladesh, not one particular leader, not one particular regime, but the people. This statement must be seen in context. A lot of Bangladeshi leaders have accused India of favoritism, of siding only with Sheikh Hasina. But New Delhi says that is not the case. Our commitment is to the people. And speaking of Sheikh Hasina, did her stay in India come up during the talks? The Indian statement does not mention Hasina at all. But Dhaka did raise the issue. And the Indian Foreign Secretary tried to clarify his position. He said New Delhi will work with the government of the day. Hasina's stay has no bearing on relations. That's what Vikram Misri told his counterpart. But Dhaka was not satisfied. They asked the Foreign Secretary to convey a message to Hasina that her statements from New Delhi are not welcome, to which the Indian diplomat did not say much. He simply apparently noted it. Now, just to be clear, this is Bangladesh's version of what happened. The Indian statement, like I said, does not mention Sheikh Hasina at all. What it does mention, though, is minority rights. New Delhi did not shy away from raising its concerns. The Foreign Secretary highlighted the attacks on temples and cultural centers. Listen to Dhaka's response.
We brought to India's attention the misinformation and false reports in Indian media about the alleged mistreatment of minorities. We also highlighted that all religions in Bangladesh are practiced freely and there is no room for confusion or misrepresentation. Furthermore, we underscored that this is an internal matter for Bangladesh and that foreign comments on our internal issues are inappropriate.
Dhaka is still not admitting the problem. They're blaming Indian media. They also say that it's our internal matter, so do not comment on it. And that sums up Vikram Misri's trip to Dhaka. Both sides were certainly frank. They openly aired their concerns. They also agreed that ties should improve. But we have no roadmap on how to do it, because that depends on political will, which is missing in Dhaka. They have cancelled an important connectivity deal with India, one that could have increased internet speeds in India's northeast. The deal was signed in 2023. Mohammad Yunus has cancelled it. You see, India's northeast gets internet through a long route. First, submarine cables from Singapore to Chennai, then domestic fiber cables from Chennai to the northeast. This long route slows the internet. Plus, the cables pass through rough terrain, so repairs are a nightmare, which is why Bangladesh entered the picture. The plan was for Bangladeshi companies to supply internet bandwidth. Instead of Chennai, the cables would go via Bangladesh. Shorter distance, greater speed. That was the idea. Then why is Dhaka making a U-turn? Apparently, they feel it will undermine their potential to become a regional internet hub. Dhaka wants to supply bandwidth to other players as well, like Myanmar and northwest China. But they say that the 2023 deal with India will not permit that, hence the U-turn. Frankly, it sounds like a petty move, much like blaming your neighbor for flash floods. The fact is, Dhaka must engage in good faith. India has made its commitments and concerns clear. It's time for Mohammad Yunus to be clear about his.